Last season felt like eating a microwave dinner. It was technically fine and mostly forgettable, but it was also emotionally empty. There were a few returning favorites and some mid-tier rom-coms. Oh, and also like 40 isekai fighting for your attention. But now, it's like anime collectively woke up and said, hey, let's give them something to remember. And right here in the middle of it all is Tougen Anki, an anime I didn't expect to care about that suddenly has me counting days till the next episode. It wastes no time, there's no weird exposition dump, and no forced comedic skit. Just blood, family tension, and one of the most emotionally loaded transformations I've seen in Shounen debut this year. Shiki is introduced like a fuse that's already been lit. He's angry, reckless, loyal to a fault, and when everything starts falling apart, he doesn't just panic, he erupts. The direction during the first power awakening scene is so sharp. The framing, the cuts, and the build-up to the first real release of Bloodline power is not just cool, it's personal. You're not just watching a power-up, you're watching a kid shatter everything he thought he knew about his life in a single moment, and that hits. The world is not safe, at least not to begin with, and it's not pretending to be. We've got two opposite bloodlines, Momotaru and Oniki, locked in a conflict that feels ancient, like it's written into the bones of this world. It's not just good guys versus bad guys, it's a system built on assumptions, inherited hates, and survival instinct. Even the visuals echo this, everything sharp, red, and high contrasted. There's this type of quality to the art direction that makes it feel like even the world itself is tense. But what I appreciate most was how it didn't slow down to explain everything. You just get thrown in, and the chaos, that momentum, it works out perfectly. That's not clean, and it's not polished, but it feels real. We've seen a lot of shonen protagonists, optimistic underdogs, prowling lone wolves, or goofy kids with hidden powers. Shiki's different though. He's not motivated by dreams or ideals. He's motivated by trauma, grief, and instinct. He's not running towards something. He's reacting to everything being ripped away. And yet, there's something compelling about that. Because he could go either way. He could collapse under the weight of everything, or he could weaponize it and fight back harder than anyone expects. And that unpredictability, that duality, that's what makes him so interesting. He's not a hero, I don't think, but you can see the potential in every frame. He's the kind of character you don't root for because he's perfect. You root for him because you want him to make it out alive. And with that, we only really got one episode so far, and already I'm already excited and invested in the next episode and even the entire season. And that's not just because this anime is good, it's because this whole season feels like a comeback. It feels like anime's taking itself seriously again, like studios are trying to say something, not just check boxes anymore. And even though Tougen Anki doesn't have the name recognition of those other titles, it might just have more to prove, and that's a good thing. But let's be honest, if you're watching Tougen Anki, you probably have compared it to JJK or, I don't know, Chainsaw Man already. And that's fair. Visually, tonally, and emotionally, there's a little bit of an overlap. You got the protagonist with a painful past, the bloody soaked world that sees him as dangerous, and a secret power that's more of a curse than a gift. Just like Denji and Itadori, Shinki isn't chasing a noble goal. He's reacting to loss, trauma, and to being treated like a monster by the very people who were supposed to protect him. But there's a difference, where Chainsaw Man leans chaotically and unhinged, and JJK leans to more calculated and cool approach. Tougen Anki is something entirely different. It's raw, like watching a protagonist who hasn't figured out if they want to be saved or not. There's no guiding mentor figure, at least not yet. There's just one angry kid, one brutal world, and a whole lot of blood. It's rough, direct, and it's emotional violent in a way that feels surprisingly grounded. So yeah, like if you like Chainsaw Man for the messy energy, or you like JJK for its tightly choreography and bloodline lore, you're gonna find a lot of love in this anime. But what sets Tougen Anki apart isn't how stylish it is, it's how much it hurts, and I mean in the best way possible. You can tell a lot about a show by the way it uses silence, and there are moments in episode 1, right before the punch lands, right after someone dies, where it just goes quiet. And those quiet moments, they hit harder than the action, because Tougen Anki understands pacing. It knows when to slow down, when to let something breathe, and when it explodes in a blood-sickened, emotional-soaked spectacle. It's something special. This isn't mindless edge, and it's not direct attention either. It's violent, yes, but it earns that violence. Every drop of blood feels like a consequence, and that's what separates this from the hundreds of other shonen that try to be dark and edgy just for the aesthetic. This show has intention, which I find very nice. But look, we don't exactly know where the story is heading, at least I don't. I don't read the manga or anything, I'm just here for the anime. But we know what it's setting up, which is intriguing. There's a protagonist on edge, a bloodline war that could go full Blue Exorcist or JGK if they want to. A world that doesn't care about who you are or what you're meant to be, just cares about what you are and what you do with your power. If the writing holds and the character development lands, this could be the sleeper hit of the season. All the pieces are there, a compelling lead, a dangerous world, tight direction, and a first episode that feels like something. I don't know if it'll live up to the potential, but for once, I'm actually excited to find out.